The next presentation will be from the team from Danaos.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sofia Archontaki, ORISMA Research Officer. My team and I would like to welcome you on board Danaos. We are honored to be here to present, or better to share with you our research, experience gained and challenges, as well as how we overcame the obstacles and the lessons learned during our journey in implementing ORISMA. ORISMA stands for Operations Research in Ship Management, or, as we like to say, Operations Research in Management of Better. It is focused on seaborne transportation, the most important link in the supply-demand chain. The journey through the oceans over the centuries is an exciting nautical adventure. Our presentation is organized into the following subtopics: organization, methodology, and finally, results, impact, and conclusions. Every year, Danaos, through its shipping line, transports millions of containers, covers many nautical miles, calling at many ports. Our clients, our investors, and our board of directors, at the end of every voyage, evaluate the performance and the operational quality to see that the highest level is achieved. With ORISMA, we are able to embody the philosophy and vision of the world-class Danaos Corporation, which is continuous improvement, high-quality, reliable services, and this is achieved by bringing together the professional expertise of Danaos Shipping and the creative thinking of Danaos Management Consultants. We are the worldwide dominant players in development and support of maritime enterprise information systems. With our next video, I invite you to decode our DNA, which stands for the Danaos Nautical Adventure, and to discover the genes of its subsidiaries, the corporate identity, the mission, and key success factors such as innovation and technology. Since the ORISMA initiative was verified by Danaos, it was reasonable to decide its commercialization, starting with the existing client's large database of Danaos management consultants. It was welcomed by our clients with great enthusiasm and success. For a year now, more than 250 vessels have been operating with the support of ORISMA. Furthermore, universities and institutes incorporate ORISMA as excellence in practice paradigm in their academic programs. Let's turn our watches back 7 years. 7 years ago, on the road towards further improvement, Danaos Management Consultants brought about the idea of transforming management information system into decision support and expert ontology systems. Definitely, the ORISMA initiative was not the result of parthenogenesis, but the long-standing fertilization result of business-matured cognition by bona fide and applied operations research. The implementation carried out by Danaos Research Centre in cooperation with the Glasgow University of Strathclyde and the University of Crete in Greece and some other entities was partially funded with almost $2 million by the European Union in research programs named C-Roots, Flagship and IMAR. Paraphrasing the William Shakespeare question, to be or not to be, as the dilemma to be or to be better, our answer is crystal clear. To be better by utilizing operations research and best management practices. I invite Dr. Takis Varalas to continue with ORISMA approach.
With ORISMA, we approach the mentioned management better in an holistic manner and looking forward in time. We looked at the big picture and rationalized our objective by suggesting as follows. The maximization of fleet-wide instead of a single vessel revenue routing in a long time horizon instead of a single voyage period. With this extension of the two dimensions, production units and time, we increase the problem complexity, and it is hard to achieve the optimum solution without the ORISMA power. ORISMA consists of 23 entities which are working together towards ship management improvement. To save time and hopefully without cost, I'll focus on the most significant for revenue maximization. The voyage intelligence plan based on weather routing, the chartering proper decision making among alternative options, the continuous fleet rescheduling based on specific attributes such as the vessel suitability and availability, the voyage type, as well as the market demands and boundaries, the fleet-wide idle time minimization, and the bunkering intelligence plan. In theory, practice needs theory, and in practice, theory needs data to be evaluated and utilized. It is imperative models to be integrated with information. This is the significant novelty of ORISMA, which is applied and integrated with existing information systems. A lot of information is required: sea weather forecasting, market trends, distances, rules and regulations that are retrieved from external sources. Operational information, including seakeeping data such as vessel position, voyage itinerary, fuels consumption, engine performance, freight, administrative and running cost figures. Master data regarding vessel particulars, hydrodynamic models, and potential clients' details. With this integration, we upgrade existing information system into a decision support and expert ontology. ORISMA key success factor is that it's implemented from shipping, is evaluated and utilized by shipping. Our vision is realized, and industry welcomed ORISMA because of its open architecture and portability. Behind the scenes, the analytics, operation research techniques, and heuristics are combined in one goal programming function. This integration is transparent. ORISMA is utilized by all involved users and departments such as freight, operation, chartering, accounting, and technical, on board and ashore. In ORISMA, we utilize the feedback of actual business activities to adjust, train, and calibrate the incorporated models in order to improve the system reliability. In order to provide the highest confidence level, we built in ORISMA a simulator who, either ad hoc or whenever a voyage is completed, runs all the alternative scenarios using the actual data to verify the better of the decision taken. We make the things simple, but not simpler. We utilized existing analytics and models whenever they are applicable. Otherwise, we refine and developed new ones. We decided to implement the system in-house and to assign dedicated human resources, since we strongly believe that the availability, reliability, maintainability mainly is achieved by personnel continuity. In this respect, we overcome the known software engineering trap. When author leaves, at least one bug appears. Finally, I'll summarize the ORISMA objectives that realized. Significant saving per vessel per day. Because of its profitability, system is expected to be used from thousands of vessels, and client satisfaction improvement, workflow reduction, and significant lowering of carbon emissions. Let's see the ORISMA video now.
ORISMA stands for Operations Research in Ships Management, or as we like to say it, Operations Research in Management of Betterment.
It harmonizes the maritime expertise of Danaos Shipping with the creative thinking of Danaos Management Consultants Research Team.
Danaos Corporation visualized and utilized ORISMA in order to optimize the fleet-wide revenue routing.
Its ingenuity and power comes from the holistic optimum combination of financial data, hydrodynamic models weather, and marketing forecasting over a long period instead of single voyage duration, and fleet-wide instead of single vessel.
After ORISMA implementation, we realized that the key success factor to reach creative and innovative solutions is to define the problem statement properly in a holistic manner and looking forward.
ORISMA in fact answers conventional dilemmas such as least cost or faster voyage, cost or time saving, to stay or not to stay, by maximizing fleet-wide revenue routing and by dynamically looking forward in time.
Operators are often called to utilize their expertise to take a decision regarding the ship's routing upon vessel's discharge, to sail without waiting for the next employment and destination to be finalized or not.
The project is focused on improvement of fleet utilization, intelligent voyage planning, scheduling optimization of bunkering and chartering.
The dilemma is to stay and go or go and stay. It is exciting, and I faced it as a great temptation.
In order to be efficient, ORISMA was designed to enrich, upgrade and transform existing maritime information conventional systems to become decision support and expert ontologies.
Enterprise information systems is a must today, but formal management ontologies will be a must tomorrow. So, we provide the solution now, since tomorrow will start after today.
An impressive return of millions of dollars was achieved in only 1 year.
Thanks to provided optimum solutions in operational, tactical and strategic decision making.
I was really impressed from the results, and I enjoyed the route of this development.
Voyage chartering for ships management companies is a challenging, intellectual and low-level structured activity due to the volatile and highly competitive market.
This leads to safety and quality improvement, energy efficiency and environmental protection, having at the same time the advantage of saving non-productive costs and increasing revenues.
The charterer needs a lot of reliable and easily retrievable information from external sources regarding the freight and bunkering market and from operational and administrative departments regarding vessel particulars, potential customer details and financial data.
Key factors of a successful project implementation are the harmonized integration of navigation expertise, business knowledge with innovative and creative thinking of applied researchers, as well as the proper description of problem statement and the usage of simulation techniques for the repetitive cycle of test, evaluation and refinement.
During implementation, we utilized, refined and adjusted existing operational research models, and we developed new ones.
Many algorithms have been developed in which ship fuel consumption minimization is objective.
Most popular methods include calculus of variation, modified isochrone, isopone, and existing genetic algorithms. But none of them takes into account the individual vessel behavior, the seakeeping data, and most importantly, the time cost.
The system evaluates the problem complexity and is able to provide suggestions for routing with minimum data, with near-to-real response and the highest possible reliability level.
They also ignore the importance of fleet utilization maximization, the idle time minimization, and market trend analysis figures.
We provide the answer in this integrated ship management requirement. Furthermore, we enrich ORISMA with several additional modules for intelligent crew planning, suppliers appraisal, selection schemas, and risk assessment in order to minimize proportional and fixed operational costs.
During the utilization period, we also found a significant positive impact in business administration efficiency. Now, decision makers have at their hands an integrated approach. As a result, teamwork spirit is enhanced, creative thinking is improved, and workload has been drastically reduced.
ORISMA models are integrated with enterprise information system to be used transparently by all involved users and departments.
Of course, the primary benefit is the fleet utilization improvement up to 95%.
Danaos justifies incremental revenues of approximately $1.3 million because of time saving, $3.2 million because of fuel saving per year, and estimates an approximate 8 to 10% of company profitability from this year.
Furthermore, there are additional significant positive impacts that are difficult to measure in dollar terms.
It is a unique toolkit with the ambition to be a valuable partner for maritime industry and with respect to security, safety and environmental issues.
We underline the lowering of carbon emissions and highlight safety to life, providing forecasts to manage heavy weather conditions to the ship captain.
We also improve the client's satisfaction and gain their trust to transport their goods with our vessels.
We have decided to promote our solution in the market. Therefore, hundreds of vessels are running with ORISMA support, with an average cost saving of $80,000 per voyage, or in other words, $5,000 per day.
Universities and institutes like the University of Glasgow, the Business College of Athens, the Technological University of Crete, and the Hellenic Marine Environment Protection Association have already decided to incorporate ORISMA in their academic programs.
We will continue to refine our solutions, and we expect a significant increase of revenues in the next years. Utilizing operations research combinatorial optimization techniques of bunkering, fleet scheduling, chartering, and voyage planning, ORISMA maximizes fleet-wide long-term ship management revenue function, lowers emissions, reduces workload, and improves client satisfaction.
Because the most beautiful sea hasn't been crossed yet.
Dr. Lazakis will continue now with the ORISMA methodology.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'll now take you through the methodology part of the ORISMA platform. So starting with this slide, the first step of the ORISMA novelty suggests that For given environmental conditions, a specific vessel and voyage between an origin-destination pair, the least fuel consumption is not necessarily achieved along the shortest path at constant speed. In this case, one needs to continuously consider the ship's route adjustments based on weather forecasting in order to minimize the added resistance from wind, wave, swell, and currents throughout the ship's journey. With ORISMA, we integrate the input from all the above attributes, including a prognosis horizon of 2 weeks, together with ship performance models, suggesting the optimum ship route for the entire voyage duration, which is then sent on board the ship. The second statement, which is reviewed under the ORISMA tool, mentions that for a given vessel and voyage between an origin-destination pair in a given time frame, the least fuel consumption does not necessarily lead to maximum profit, or otherwise, time is money. In ORISMA, we consider not only the ship's actual fuel consumption for a single trip, but we also take into account the daily income for this specific trip. Therefore, by reducing the ship's sailing time and days, we eventually increase the ship's daily profit. Moreover, by maximizing the daily revenue when fixing a voyage does not necessarily maximize the daily revenue over a time horizon greater than a single voyage duration. In this case, the charterer needs to consider a variety of low and high charter rates for different trading areas around the world, for example, US, Europe, etc., for a number of consecutive voyages. Accordingly, it may be preferable to initially charter a ship with a lower rate, as in the long run, higher rates will be also introduced, thus increasing the overall ship revenue for a number of consecutive voyages. Moreover, chartering a vessel which is idle at the time being and which is the closest to the departure port is not necessarily the optimum decision. In this respect, the optimum fleet utilization is considered by minimizing the total idle time in alignment with the fleet-wide long-term revenue maximization. In fact, this decision is a probabilistic multi-criteria decision-making process. The deterministic criteria are the vessel's particulars, like the age and the capacity of the ship, the vessel's position, and the corresponding administrative cost. In ORISMA, we materialize the appropriate integration for fleet scheduling, not necessarily to minimize the idle time, but on the other hand, searching for a way to optimize fleet-wide revenue. Now, taking into consideration the future potential ship employments, business best practices, including regulations and safety issues, the actual sailing conditions, such as geographical restrictions, intermediate destinations, and of course the ship's waiting points suggested by ORISMA, we defined the optimum approach plan, saving ship trading time, regardless of the fact that higher fuel consumption may occur. Eventually, we found out that it is better to go and wait than to initially wait and then go. The next step in the ORISMA implementation takes into account that by minimizing the required fuel tons for a given voyage does not necessarily minimize the bunkering cost. In this regard, the bunkering cost may be further reduced by not only minimizing the required quantities that are needed for a trip, but also by compiling an optimum bunkering plan. Likewise, various attributes are considered, such as market data, including fuel price, trends availability, etc., vessel particulars, for example, storage capacity, the vessel speed, fuel type, operational data as well, such as fuel remaining on board, safety minimum quantity and distances to be covered, etc., and of course other safety and technical constraints. In ORISMA, we incorporate an advanced heuristic algorithm, meaning involving best business practices, optimizing the bunkering cost per voyage for varying fuel prices and quantities with significant savings observed. As you can see in this slide, a small part of the suggested ORISMA approach is explicitly shown. The above diagrams demonstrate the actual as well as the optimal ship route regarding the wind influence in the ship's voyage. In this case, the minimization of the wind resistance considering the route suggested by the ORISMA platform can be easily observed. Moreover, ORISMA produces similar diagrams for wave, currents, and wind wave fluctuations and combines them all in order to come up with the suggested optimum sailing routes. Now, furthermore, we also discovered that the suggested route avoids high resistance effects, especially on head of swell and wind wave conditions. Accordingly, the fuel oil consumption attributed to propulsion is compared with the one of the added resistance for both cases of the actual and optimum suggested routes. In this slide, we illustrate the above ORISMA steps in terms of actual monetary benefits for a given ship and single voyage. The savings when comparing the initial and the ORISMA suggested option are staggering. Overall distance reduction more than 10%, overall duration reduction more than 45%, and total reduction in fuel consumption more than 20%. It is worth highlighting that despite the fact that the propulsion cost is higher due to the higher ship speed, the fuel oil consumption due to wind and weather effects is much less, thus significantly minimizing the overall fuel oil consumption. Now, taking into account the price of ship's fuel at $350 per metric ton and the expected time charter equivalent of $66,000, the above figures can be easily interpreted in terms of monetary values as bunkering cost savings more than $37,000 and time cost savings more than $368,000. Now, provided that the fuel consumption is directly proportional to the carbon emissions, the consequent positive impact of environmental protection is substantial and can be easily measured as well. Now, while we were developing the ORISMA platform, we used several models before reaching a confident level. For example, we spent a lot of time with the optimization process. Inaccuracy of the solution arose when second-order differentials were used. So in this respect, dynamic programming method based on Bellman's principle of optimality was developed. Also, before the implementation stage, we also proactively developed and incorporated the management of change plan into the ORISMA platform, including, of course, all the appropriate training in order to overcome the system underutilization. Distrust, lack of knowledge, human momentum in change, lack of training and motivation were identified as the most significant hazards. The lack of standards in interfaces was also one of the most serious obstacles at the implementation stage. So far, getaways have been developed using commercial schemas to provide the appropriate architecture. Moreover, besides the wind, wave, and current attributes, the performance index is also influenced by the trim, the pitch, the type of the propeller, and the condition of the ship hull, among other factors. Therefore, it is usual to observe fluctuations between the theoretical calculated index and the onboard actual fuel oil consumption measurements. So to overcome this, we enriched the model with a feed-forward back propagation artificial neural network. Finally, the algorithms employed to find the best seaway for calm weather conditions between any two waypoints that avoid land, restricted areas, war zones, draft limitations, and navigation rules are in general difficult to extract. So this is the reason why the ship's captain must eventually define the passage pattern, of course taking into account the ORISMA suggested route, which can be then easily verified and used as a basis for alternative seaways. At this point, I would like to invite Mr. Evangelos Hadjis, CFO of Danaos Corporation, in order to conclude with the ORISMA benefits.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Before I commence my presentation, we will review a short video with client testimonials on the benefits of implementing ORISMA.
Understanding the importance of a decision-making tool in our operational, tactical, and strategic activities, we decided to apply and utilize the ORISMA, which is an add-on toolkit in our Danaos enterprise system since January 2011.
Stiga Compania Naviera is the shipping vehicle of the Mandakis family. We have been operating tankers for over 40 years. We are a worldwide transporter of energy. ORISMA has been applied on the Danaos enterprise information system since the beginning of 2011. Evaluation of ORISMA and quantification of the results had followed the ceteris paribus principle. According to our measurements, ORISMA has been greatly contributed in income optimization, and this is due to fleet scheduling optimization and intelligent voyage planning. Furthermore, cost savings have been noticed because of bunkering optimization and weather routing. $4.72 million is the approximation of ORISMA benefit return.
We have already integrated ORISMA in our ship management platform and have already seen an enhancement in our operational efficiency, both in terms of improving the service we provide to our clients, as well as realizing a benefit in the company's profitability of up to 10%.
Utilizing the ORISMA, mainly in our operational, technical, and chartering department, we found out substantial profits either because of fleet utilization and optimization, as well as for fuel and spares cost saving. Attempting a quantification of ORISMA utilization, we may claim that for this year, with an approximate fleet of 10 vessels, the positive impact of ORISMA could be assessed in the range of $5.1 million. The mentioned results prove the concept of betterment in management practices, and we strongly recommend the system utilization.
Multi-criteria decision support tools for chartering and supplier appraisal schemas, key performance indication matrices also improve the quality in company administration and provide services in alignment to our commitment for continuous betterment. Decision support tools for chartering, supplier appraisals, key performance indicators also improve the quality in company administration. It's also in line to our commitment for continuous improvement. Alexander Prokopakis for Stiga Compania Naviera.
If one extrapolates the financial benefits that may be achieved through the application of ORISMA in world seaborne trade, the results are telling. With approximately 60,000 vessels currently transporting goods worldwide, the potential saving per annum for the industry may exceed $20 billion.
Now, the shipping industry is undoubtedly a fragmented and competitive industry. As a result, shipping companies like us have always been looking for ways to differentiate themselves in an effort to establish a competitive advantage relative to their peers. This is the underlying reason for which, in 1985, almost 30 years ago, Danaos decided to set up an in-house software company that has ultimately developed an enterprise resource planning, or as it is more commonly referred to, ERP platform, tailor-made to support shipping operations. This ERP integrates and supports the whole range of activities of a ship operator, such as communications, technical management and fleet maintenance, crewing, supplies, chartering, operational management, safety management, financial and management reporting, accounting, etc. In the process of development, it became apparent that the end product could be independently offered in the market as an integrated software solution for ship management. Today, the Danaos ERP is being used by more than 600 shipping companies worldwide. The product has been continuously developing through the years, in line, of course, with the rapid technological advancement that we have all witnessed during the last 3 decades. Our research and development department has the mission to work proactively in identifying ways to enhance competitiveness through technologically innovative solutions that are ultimately integrated in the Danaos ERP platform. A testimonial to the success of this venture is that during the last 30 years, Danaos has become the third largest independent container ship owner and operator in the world. To us, it is very clear that a large part of our success is attributed to our commitment in using technology as a source of competitive advantage. ORISMA, which is being presented here today, is the latest addition to this software platform. It is currently being utilized by us, as well as by a number of shipping companies that use our ERP. Today, more than 250 vessels are being managed with ORISMA support. Now, in terms of the specific benefits derived from the implementation of ORISMA, I can refer to the results that we have seen so far, which are both tangible and intangible. We have managed to improve the bottom line profitability of the company by almost 10%, which in nominal terms is approximately $6 million. In order to get a measure of the potential savings that ORISMA can offer to the industry, if this is extrapolated to the world seaborne trade fleet that numbers more than 60,000 vessels, the potential saving is estimated to exceed $20 billion a year. For our company, these tangible benefits are derived from fuel consumption savings and fleet utilization improvement through the optimal weather routing module, as well as cost savings through the supply evaluation module. We have also seen significant intangible benefits through the implementation, for example, of the crewing module. Our 65-vessel fleet requires in excess of 1,500 seafarers to be on board our ships that on average are being rotated every 4 months. This means that we have to manage logistics for more than 4,500 crew positionings every year. This task involves continuous crew quality assessment and selection, availability of crew to support the unobstructed operation of the ships, let alone transportation logistics that involve traveling of crew to board the ships in the 4 corners of the world, from places such as Greece, Ukraine, Russia, even Tanzania. Having this whole function organized through ORISMA has been a great advantage. A further intangible benefit realized through ORISMA is the improvement in the carbon emissions footprint of every ship through the optimized routing and fuel consumption. We continue to refine our solution through internal input as well as feedback from our clients, since, as Nazim Hikmet put it, the most beautiful sea hasn't been crossed yet. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.